We are live with Miss Sonia Elaine, the winner of our January walking challenge. Hello, Miss Sonia Elaine.
Hi, hello everybody. So excited to be here today.
You not only beat us in the walking challenge, you ran away with it, like ran away with it.
Well, I knew when I saw the video, I was already intending on getting back into walking. Is that mine? I'm gonna hear a little bit. I'm turn down. I thought I heard an echo. I knew I was going to be getting back into walking, but I was like, this is perfect thing for me because I'm not going to lose. That's just my personality. Even if I had to walk all day, like around the house and like never sit down, I would do it. I know myself. So the only thing I didn't know is I think I told you I was coming off of plantar fasciitis and I'm going to physical therapy on one of my feet. I didn't know if it could handle it, but I thought it could. And I'm still a runner, but I'm on a break right now because I injured my other foot. So I knew, like, to me, like walking 10 miles isn't very hard for me just because I've run my whole life. So I knew I could do it. Like, I didn't know though, because flour, eggs, and yeast, I've always seen other posts on Facebook for Tana Teresa. I was like, I think they might be runners. I'm not really sure. So I didn't know. I was like, well, maybe they could beat me. I wasn't sure. So yeah.
I knew hosting the challenge, I knew that I would not win because I have what I think is a stress fracture in my foot. And so, different shoes and stuff seem to be harder on it, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to probably even get to the 10,000 steps that's not required.
Recommended or whatever.
Recommended.
Yeah. Well, you want to make as their goal, But, and by the way, talking about if you have problems, I'm just offering free advice. If you have problems with your shoes or your inserts, I just actually went to REI and they can measure your arch. I didn't know they do that for free and recommend inserts for your shoes and all kinds of stuff in case you ever wanted. I didn't know until my doctor told me. So I just got some new inserts actually. The thing I noticed is going into the month, like the 3 months I had taken some time off from working out, I noticed that my resting heart rate had gone up like a little bit. And it's one of the indications of like, how in shape we are. And normally I have a really low resting heart rate, like a runner, like in the 50s, which is not normal for everybody, but people that run a lot, it's usually in the 50s. And mine had gone up into the 60s. And I was like, whoa, that's different. I guess because I'm not running every day or whatever, and I take some time off. But getting back to doing all that walking, well, then my resting heart rate went back down into the 50s. So that's good for me. I mean, I know a lot of people are not in the 50s sitting around, but for me, I knew that it was different. So I think that that's good. It shows that the walking was helping my, cardio fitness levels. So
that's awesome.
And I did sleep well this week. So Molly, my resting heart rate is too high, but not sure. I think some of it, Molly, is also just hereditary and maybe when you're checking it, I only know because I have an Apple Watch. So it monitors your heart rate all day and it'll give you like a readout of where your resting heart rate is. Like when because like, let's say they take it at the doctor, you're like running in, then you're anxious. Oh, what's your resting heart rate? Oh, it's kind of high. No kidding. Are you just weighing me and I'm just having a panic attack?
Yeah.
Like it could be anything like that, You're like thinking of why am I here, blah, blah. So it's like not a good thing. Or when you're thinking about checking it, sometimes like we don't do it when we're calm. We do it when we're thinking about because we're panicked or whatever. My heart's, whatever. So Molly put hers is still like 74, but I think that's still actually really healthy, Molly, and 74 resting heart rate. So that is still really good, actually. So yeah.
But you said that you do have more energy.
I would say it's about the same as I normally do, probably. But I normally do work out. I think towards the end of the year, I was feeling maybe not as energetic because I wasn't. Like, I don't know. I like working out every day because it does normally give me more energy. And it helps me sleep better. I don't sleep well if I don't work out. I feel like, and maybe it's like anxiety or whatever. If I work out, then I feel like releases my anxiety and I'm more calm and ready to sleep. And I'm exhausted. Maybe I have less energy to think about all the things I'm worried about. I don't know.
I sleep better if I spend time outside, if I get the vitamin D from going outside and getting
yeah,
that
and I think that too,
melatonin.
living outside of Seattle, like November, December, even now, I was like, yesterday was so dark here. It's kind of eerie. So yeah, I'm excited for the sun to start coming out. It came out for a little bit today, but it wasn't very long. So
Yeah. So do you walk outside when you can? Do you spend time outside a lot?
in the summertime I do. Here it's raining a lot. So in the evening, sometimes like a few times my husband will go with me. It's fairly dark to go walking. So majority of the walking I did this month, almost all of it, except for a few nights, were done on my treadmill. And I just have a TV in front of it and I just sit there and walk. I know not everybody likes that because they think like my husband's like, how boring. And I'm like, well, I'm already watching this. Like I've been watching the whole new Sex and the City series.
Yeah.
I'm like, Thursday night, let's go on my treadmill. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, I used to have that set up too, and it was really nice. But your days are very short there, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah. The sun is down by like in the winter months, 3:45, 4 o'clock. I think they just said on the news, like we are just hit the 4 o'clock or whatever. So it's dark here. Like I was when I moved here. I was ready for the rain, but I was not ready for it to be this dark. I feel like we live in Alaska in the winter months. It's rough. So and it's raining, so it's not like I don't know. But the summers are beautiful.
Yeah, it's been like windy and cold, like 50 degrees, and we're all freezing here. Actually, it's perfect weather. It's perfect to go out and be active and be outside. We can't do much when it's 110,
Yeah.
in the summer, but except to go to the lake.
Doesn't it cool off? Does it cool off there though in the evenings, like once the sun goes down this summer, or no?
In my town, it usually does, but like in Phoenix, there's so much asphalt that absorbs the heat, and so many of the buildings that absorb the heat that it never really cools down. And it's much hotter there. It's about 10 degrees hotter in Phoenix than it is in my town. We're a little bit higher elevation, and we have farming around, and so that helps with the air and stuff. The humidity helps to cool it down in the evenings, but still sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially global warming. You guys got really hot last summer, right? It
was
pretty
very,
hot
very hot.
Yeah.
Boiling. Yes.
Yeah.
Roasting. Yeah.
Well, it got hot here. Global warming's messing up. I think one day he was like 115 here, and people just like lost their minds.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a friend that's on Facebook in Eugene, and she talks about how warm it was up there. She moved there from Phoenix, and just like switching, like we were cool here and it was hot up there, so it's been very strange. So
yeah.
So in one of the first videos I did on Fifth and Overland, I talked to a reflexologist, and she said that reflexology can help with the plantar fasciitis. Have you tried that at all?
I mean, to some extent, I mean, not really. I mean, he has me doing all kinds of stuff. I think what really helped, I know this is gonna, when he told me I want to do this, I was like, what? I put my foot like in this boot and it's strapped in at night and kind of pulls on it. And that's made probably the biggest difference. So I think it's the most bothersome in the middle of the night because you wake up. I mean, it's a huge thing. It's not like small. But it did make a huge difference. I mean, we're doing that and just flexibility, icing it at night, and he wants me to heat it in the morning. But it's gotten a lot better. Obviously, I couldn't have done all those steps. I think I only really feel it when I first get out of bed, and if I overdid it late at night, and I just try to ice it down to aid in the recovery of it. But other than that, it's going pretty good. And the inserts in my shoes, I'm kind of not crazy about I'm wearing like Hoka running shoes every day. It's just not, I like wearing fun shoes. But I mean, it's okay.
Well, one of the things,
it's not forever.
When I had plantar fasciitis, one of the things that really helped me was wearing a little bit of a heel in my shoe.
Yeah.
And I'm mainly have like really flat shoes because I'm 6 foot tall, and so I don't go around in heels very much. But
wow, I had no idea you were so tall.
Yeah.
You know what? Now it was like Molly put in one of her videos, because she's down here. I'll just say that she was like really little. I was like, really? I thought Molly was super tall when I saw her in her videos. I think because she's so slender, and I don't know. I just like, why? But I thought Molly was like close to 6 feet.
It's because she's next to her miniatures, and so it makes her look taller. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how tall you are, Molly, but I know that you're not 6 foot. I know that. I think I'm the only one in our group that's 6 foot.
Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea.
So what
Wow.
else do you do besides walking? What else do you like to do besides walking?
Lift weights. As I've gotten older, I've gotten into yoga. Like when I was younger, I probably had no patience for it, and even though I know it's good, but especially as you get older, to prevent things like this from happening, we all need to be stretching as much as we can. So I try to do yoga, and I even try to like get one of my family members, like my daughter or my husband, be like, "You want to do yoga with me tonight?" So that I know I'll sit through like a whole class and like really stretch out. Though I do have like goals of like, so this month I was trying to do 15,000 steps a day. And I think one of my months, because I tried the other night just to see like how far gone I am, I was like, maybe I can get back into doing the splits and really work on my flexibility. I don't know if I can. I don't have that far to go because I was like danced a lot growing up. So I'm still like fairly limber, but I don't know. So I thought I'd work on it 1 month and try to really focus more on my flexibility. So, and I know it's important for us to prevent injuries and things like that. So,
Yeah, that's cool. I've taken yoga before, and I teach Tai Chi, and right after my Tai Chi class is a yoga class, but I have to go teach a different class, or I'd stay there. It's so good. It's so good for you. But I think that the breathing part is really important too in yoga. Is even as much as the stretching, I think that the breathing is really important. I think the whole oxygenation thing of drinking enough water and taking the really good deep breaths, I think is
yeah.
a really important part of fitness that we don't focus on here as much as some other places do.
Well, that's true, especially even drinking water or anything. That's why I have my little app. It was going off right before we went on because
Yeah.
I'm not great about it, but I've connected it to my watch and my phone, so it like dings me all the time. And then I try to put in like how much I drunk in a day, because then I know sometimes I'll be tired, and then I realize, hey, this is gross, but if you pee and it's not clear, then you know you're dehydrated. You're like, you need to drink more.
Yes.
And that's it's one way to know. And it's just like, okay, I really need to focus on drinking more water. So, and we should be, I mean, this is another, like, we should not be dehydrated going into our workouts or where we're more likely to get hurt. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about your degree. I don't know if you talked about any of that when I was in my age.
I didn't talk about it, even though I have a cooking channel or whatever. And actually, when I started my channel, I thought I would do more aimed for women and fitness and everything else. And then we had a break and the pandemic hit, and I think I took a few months off because it was kind of crazy. Like my kids came home and everybody's online. I was trying to figure out my daughter's cameras and everything else. And my husband's work wanted him to start making a cooking video every week to send out to their hotel for their employees. And he's like, well, I can't do that. That's like a lot of work for me to be working this and doing this and editing. I don't think you guys have any idea how long it takes to edit a cooking video or to make it. And so I started doing it with him, and they were sending out my video, which helped when I was a really small channel, is sending it out to all his employees. And then I kind of got back into some of the fitness stuff, but I really didn't. And unfortunately, it's like they don't get the hits. I mean, if I make horrible things that are bad for you, like fried foods, those are the ones that really take off.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's horrible. And then I'm like, that's not my true passion. I don't want to be having heart attacks by eating like whatever. And majority of the time, I don't eat like that,
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it is. I mean, Molly's on here. Molly says she makes all the cakes and she never eats, which I think is funny. Of like, you don't eat the cakes you actually make, but it makes sense. I mean, it just is. So now I've gone, but I think because my passion truly is more fitness, I think I'm like 2 years into my channel and it hasn't like blown up in millions of subscribers. So I think I'm going to start putting in some of the things that I'm really passionate about and just seeing how it is. Worst case scenario, it doesn't do great. I mean, I don't know. But I think when I look at my analytics, they have a lot of women that are watching between 30 to 50-year-olds. So I feel like some of us would want to maybe make something indulgent on Friday, but that doesn't mean that we don't care what we look like or how healthy we are or any of those things are, we want to learn how to keep ourselves healthy. So,
well, I think that we'd like to indulge and then walk it off. So
like, I don't know if of anybody that can just like eat, I don't know, like an example, 1,200 calories a day and be on some crazy diet all the time, because that's not realistic, you know? So
My husband eats anything and everything and stays
oh,
thin.
I'm
And
jealous. I think there's just those people. My daughter can eat whatever she wants, and I feel like she has like my brother's metabolism. I feel like he just whatever, and he's just
yeah,
so thin. So
yes.
I've never been that way. I've had to work really hard. I will gain weight extremely quickly.
Well, I think I accuse him that I gain weight from whatever he eats. I think that that's what's happening. So it's not
And I
fair.
feel like men, and it is the thing, men lose weight faster than we can. I know whenever I'm like trying to lose weight with my husband, I feel like he's going like twice as fast as me. Can you hear me?
Something went wrong with your audio there.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's scratchy.
Okay, let me see what I can do real quick. Hang on.
Let's go to the chat here for a second. And let's see, what did you think about sleep? Did you get enough sleep? Yeah, I think she said that she was sleeping better. And
can you hear me now better? I turned on and off my mic.
It's like it's scratchy. I don't know how to explain it. But I don't know if it's your microphone or if it's your connection. Let's see. Oh, I think, let's see. Drinking beer is the best thing ever I can't read all of that. Let's see. To lift?
Oh, to be fit. That's what she said.
Okay. Okay, say something now, Sonia. Let's see how it goes.
Can you hear me? I know my husband and son are watching. They said that I seem clear on YouTube, but I don't know.
That's better. That's good now.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see, what else does Molly say? To an air fryer? Yes.
You're the reason why I bought one. I love my air fryer. I probably maybe should have done a channel just on air fryer food.
I have
tired of it.
I have a convection oven, so it's not really the same as an air fryer. It's not, that small space, but I use it for pretty much the same
thing. And does it make everything crispy? I've seen some of the new ovens that have that feature.
It makes things crispier. I used to have a convection oven like a long time ago when they first came out, and it doesn't make things as crispy as I imagine an air fryer would, but it does. It's a change.
Convection on my. I know some of the new ovens even have like supposedly air fryer, but really, an air fryer is a convection oven. It's just in a smaller area, So just twirling the air around.
Yeah, but I do think it's a better way to cook with than just frying.
Deep frying, for sure.
Yeah. I don't ever fry anything. I don't like the cleanup of frying stuff, except for maybe like a steak and some butter, but that's more sauteing stuff is what I feel like. But so did we talk about your degree? What your degree was in?
My degree, I was getting to that. Sorry. My degree is actually in interdisciplinary studies with kinesiology and childhood education, actually, early childhood education. So I used to teach and coach previous to children, and then I taught at a community college, actually sports activity classes, mostly swimming. And I used to coach summer league swimming for all ages at one point. Believe it or not, it's great money in Texas. Cool. It helped supplement my teaching job when I was like working on my master's. So yeah.
So tell me about the connection between exercise and learning.
Exercise. Well, I think there's a big connection between exercise and learning. I used to teach my favorite year. I probably taught second grade. And I think at that point, a lot of them are still like really squirrely and stuff. And I do believe that there's a huge connection, more into the Montessori learning and playing and everything else. And like when we would do math, we would go outside and play kickball. And like, I think it's a good way for us to be moving and doing things. I actually think that kids we would add like, what is 5 + 4? If you knew the answer, you could run up and kick the ball, and they would learn like much more quickly. Our kids are not meant to be sitting at a desk all day long. And maybe some kids can learn that way, but I think as a society, we need to start thinking about how different kids learn differently. I know I did not learn well that way. I don't know. It's just some people process things differently. So
I think that it makes it memorable. I think that if
yeah,
you're doing an activity, it's changing how your brain is working, but I think that you can connect this activity to this thing that you just learned, and so I think that changes how you remember something.
oh
But
yeah, for sure. When
yeah,
even in college, I used to take my stuff to the gym and like lift weights as I was like studying because it helped me like absorb it better. That's
yes,
just how I learn, you know.
yeah,
I can take it in better and remember better. And I know children can do the same thing. Like even my daughter was younger, we used to study her spelling words. It's gonna sound crazy by laying on the edge of her bed and doing sit-ups as we like
yeah,
spelled them out. Like, because that's what would help her remember the next day. It's like, because if you just sit there asking a kid, oh, can you spell apple? Like over and over, writing it a lot. I mean, some kids maybe learn that way, but not everybody. Some kids definitely learn better by moving and by
I
motion.
I think that there's two things to add it to music and then to add it to activity. I think that both of those things can really help to make it more memorable.
For sure.
And yeah, let me go to the chat here and see early childhood education.
Oh, I remember
Also,
Molly was a teacher. I didn't know she taught kindergarten. That
yeah,
makes sense. She has that very like sweet voice personality. Yeah.
you teach so well on YouTube. Oh, that's cool. Great teacher, and I love your videos on the cotton ball. Cotton balls representing
That was actually one of
that.
my earlier videos talking about how we should not be starving ourselves. And I have a representation of like two women, and one woman's weight training, the other woman is not. One woman's starving herself, and one woman is not. And it's just like showing basically what would happen to these two women over time. Like initially, the girl that starved herself might lose more weight initially, but in the long run, then she lose all her muscle. And I know Molly was saying that too in the comments. Well, women lose and men lose muscle as we age, and that's really what boosts our metabolism is all our muscle. So
Yeah. Yeah, so I was asking you to look at the videos or some information on cold showers. And did you see the connection between cortisol and muscle loss and cold showers? That blew my mind.
I've seen some. I don't know if I've seen exactly what you are saying about the cortisol and the cold showers and that. I have seen some on the theory of that cold showers may help us like with recovery or there's some people that claims it may help boost your metabolism or things like that. So why don't you tell us what you've been doing? I know you said you've been doing it. So are
Yes,
you like
so cold.
so you're just walking in your shower and putting as cold as you can? Are you
I
icing yourself like in a bath?
I start off with hot shower, and
Okay.
then at the end I turn it to as cold as I can get it to go. And I'm mainly trying to get it onto my thyroid because I've read that helps.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to like stop the not stop the production, but slow down cortisol. And so I've never heard this before, but I heard that cortisol depletes your muscle. And so not only are you getting this cortisol and it makes belly fat, but it also depletes the muscle to where your your muscles aren't burning the belly fat that the cortisol is starting. And then also it makes more brown fat, and brown fat has more mitochondria in it. So it's like this whole win-win situation, I think. Plus it's like really invigorating, and it's supposed to release endorphins and norepinephrine, and so that helps with depression and anxiety and all that stuff. So I just thought it was fascinating. And it's another one of those things that's free, like intermittent fasting. Like it's something that you can add to what you're already doing as long as it's not counterproductive for you.
Right. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And you could try. I mean, if it makes you feel good, then I mean, the only thing I do know about, let's say, cold showers, it does make you burn a few more calories than you would just taking a normal shower, right? But I
Because of
haven't,
shivering.
yeah, I'm always like, yeah, stress causes cortisol, and it does. Stress causes cortisol. I haven't heard about anything about you putting water on your thyroid or anything else and it, making it better. But I say if you think it's working, then do it.
I think that's one of my big things. Placebo effect does work to a certain extent. So
Yeah, I mean, if it's not hurting you, and
yeah.
And I do think that, I mean, let's just say you were hurt in any area, you icing it or putting something cold on it would bring the inflammation down.
Right. Yeah.
It can't hurt you.
Now,
I do worry about your heart a little bit if you're bringing your temperature really hot and then going really cold.
No, I'm
good.
going more cold than I am hot, probably because I've like reduced the heat in the shower, which it seems like a good thing. And like my skin is softer, and like I feel like it's like I have less inflammation and stuff like that as well. So it's
so it's not why you do gluten. I don't really know. Like, I've watched some of your gluten-free videos, but I don't actually know why you do gluten-free. Do you do gluten-free because you have celiac disease, or do you do it because of autoimmune and you are trying to help with inflammation?
I started gluten-free stuff a long time ago because I needed to be gluten-free, and so I did that for a few years, and then I kind of recovered from my gluten allergy.
Okay.
And but then I discovered how bad gluten is for thyroid, and so I'm not as strict as I need to be, but my husband has to be gluten-free now. And so I do most of the gluten-free for him. But
well, I do know a lot of people that have arthritis. My friend says about arthritis, and her doctor was like, you really need to do gluten-free because it does add to inflammation. So that's why I was like, well, maybe there's so many reasons people do it nowadays. From a lot of people have like gluten intolerance, or some people we don't know. Maybe it's the gluten, maybe it's all the stuff we add to our food in the United States. So we put so many bad things in our food. I was just talking to my husband the other day. We were talking about how much additives there are in food right now. It's got, and in our country, we don't have like the least amount, I guess, because of capitalism and whatever other things that they allow in other countries, they do not allow. I mean, we allow in our country, and I guess, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's what they allow. So
yeah, me too. That's the whole food thing is really important, I think. But even, I mean, there's gluten in thyroid pills apparently. So
really, I haven't heard that.
That's amazing to me. But yeah, at least that's what they say on Facebook, and whatever's on Facebook is true, right? So, not really. It's not. So tell us about the Wear Red Friday.
So Wear Red Friday is usually the first Friday in February, and I'm really passionate about heart health. And part of the reason why I think every woman should be doing some sort of cardio. I mean, weights are extremely important so we don't lose our muscle, and yoga is for flexibility. And I think also rightly, I feel like in the media, like people really push for people lose weight, but that's different than doing actually cardio that actually works our heart. And we all need to be aware of that, because heart disease actually is the #1 killer of women. I know if you had seen marketing, you would think that we're all dying of breast cancer and all these other cancers, which is still important. I'm not saying don't get your mammogram. I'm not, but I'm just saying that more of us are dying of heart disease, and it's getting worse and worse every year. And so the American Heart Association is really trying to push women to really think about their heart health, because when we think of heart attacks, I mean, I do, like growing up, I would always think it's like a man's thing. Like I would never think that my mom might have a heart attack, or my grandmother, right? Like it was like always in the news that all these men are having heart attacks. And now we know that women, it's the #1 cause of it. And because of social media and everything else, we still don't think about it. And we also might have maybe not think we're having a heart attack because we could be throwing up and vomiting or anything else, and we might have different things. Sorry, it's my dog. That may be happening, but it actually could be our heart. So I don't know. I just think that we all need to get a little more heart healthy, do a little more cardio, and be more aware of it, that we need to do just as much for our heart as we do for anything else, which also is eating healthy.
And drinking more water too, right?
And
that goes
into
the heart health.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And I think, I don't know if more people know this, is like women have more strokes than men. Unfortunately, part of that is because of our hormones, because we're more likely, to get blood clots, and blood clots causes strokes. But some of it can be prevented. Some of it's because women are going in having high blood pressure and stuff, and they have no idea. And I feel like in the past, when doctors haven't like warned women as much, like this could happen to you, right? Like they say that women in their 30s and 40s are 50% more likely to have a heart attack than having breast cancer. And it's
Wow.
a startling statistic. Yeah. And so that we all really need to start. And even in the United States, I mean, when you think of COVID, I think it's been a big wake-up call. If you're, more healthy, you're less, if you're more healthy, you're less likely to have as many problems with COVID. So I don't know. We all just need to start getting a little more heart healthy and paying attention to our blood pressure and our cholesterol levels and our stress levels as women, especially stress, because we, in general, are still taking care of our families and working and under a huge amount of stress in this, and especially during a pandemic.
Yes.
Nothing is more stressful than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Wear Red Fridays is the February 4th this year, and we all are encouraged to wear red as a reminder to tell everybody else, like, have you had your blood pressure done lately? Have you had your cholesterol checked? What is your resting heart rate? And all of those things.
That's good.
So it's a good reminder, and it's to wear red. And American Heart Association is really making a big deal about trying to bring more awareness to women's heart health. I know right before the pandemic, they had some really good commercials, I thought. I don't remember exactly. It's like a woman in her kitchen getting her kids ready for school, and she's like, I don't feel so good. And I think she throws up, and then she falls on the floor, and she has a heart attack. And it's like, oh, I didn't know this could happen to a woman in her 30s. So I think she feels like she's just like hot, getting her kids ready for school, but it's not. So
yeah. I don't know why they don't make testing more like a regular thing, like more.
I think they're trying to. I know last time as my physical this last year, even they're trying to look for more things in women. Like supposedly if your ankles are swelling, that you're more likely that your heart is having problems. It could be. And so they're trying to look at more different things. It was like on one of the checklists of, are her ankles swollen? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So, because it's like one of the indicators that our heart could be failing as well. So I think they're doing more. And I think they don't take seriously. I don't know. During the pandemic, me and my daughter were actually in the urgent care because we couldn't get an appointment. It was for something little. Like she had an ear infection, but there was like no doctor appointments here for certain things. They're like, well, you need to get in. And there was a lady that walked in and she's like, I'm having chest pains. Like I am feeling really tight in my chest. And they handed her all these papers to fill out. I was thinking, are you kidding me? If this is a guy, don't you think they already would have wheeled him back? Like, this is crazy. And the lady's like, really think something's wrong.
Wow.
Like, oh my God, this is horrible. I mean, maybe she should have gone to hospital. Maybe urgent care is closer. It doesn't matter. They should have done something immediately right then and there. So I did see her getting an EKG later. So that was good. Good. I hope she was fine.
Let's see. Molly and Bill were talking about cold showers. They're really good for you. You guys got to try it. You got to try it at least once, at least twice, because I think it was
about taking cold showers because I grew up in Texas and it was like super hot. So after running, I'd come in and just turn that as cold as it could go, cool off. But yeah, I haven't tried it in a long time. So
well, it's been about 2 weeks that I've been doing it, and now I really look forward to it. And so like it's kind of addicting, like it's kind of like this whole new challenge that I'm on, like how long can I stand it? But I think it's really good. I think it's been really a really good thing.
My son was telling me, because I was telling him that I was going to have this conversation with you, and I was like, have you heard about this? Is it like maybe I'm not on TikTok enough or something? Like maybe it's one of these new things. And he's like, well, I've actually heard that the military have them do it, like men in the army and stuff. Supposedly, they do it in the morning though to wake them up. Like it's supposed to like immediately probably start sending endorphins into your body to really wake you up. So do you do it in the morning? That's my question, or night?
Yes. I do it in the morning because it can be like wake you up too much to go to sleep in the evenings.
Yeah.
And I do have a infrared sauna that's also supposed to be good for thyroid and stuff too. But I try to use that before I go to bed because that's really relaxing. And
so do you have like one of those big sonic like closet things you can buy for your house? Oh, okay. I was like, wow.
I have like a little cooker thing. that's just a little portable one. Okay.
and I learned a new word. I learned dynorphin, I think is the word. It's like kind of the opposite of endorphin. Like the cold showers release endorphins, and the heat releases dynorphins, which also produce norepinephrine. So it's cool, double whammy there. So it's neat. But yeah, that's more relaxing than the cold showers. But one thing that I did learn is the cold showers are not as good for recovery right after workout, and they're different than an ice bath. So like an ice bath is better after playing a game or something like that than a cold shower is. Right. It's so strange to me that you would react differently to getting in the cold that should be the same cold, but your body responds differently to it. So it's fascinating. I love it. I love learning this stuff, and it's the information is out there and we just have to go get it, It's so cool. So we kind of talked about you maybe sharing more fitness stuff on your channel, but I do think that would be a really neat, like a guide, like if you eat this amount of this food, then you have to walk this many miles or whatever to for the calories.
I think it's good, but I think it's also bad because then I feel like it's punishment. I don't think exercise should be punishment. I am like one of these people that love to exercise, and which like I love doing Stairmaster. Like I can't tell people some of the gifts my husband buys me because people might judge him. But like when all the gyms closed, I was like, I miss my Stairmaster. Yeah. So he bought one off eBay off one of the gyms closing, and we put it out in my garage. But I do like, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I would want to say, oh, well, this, and everybody has a different, just basal metabolic rate. So depending on how much muscle you have or whatever, or how old you are, like as we get older, unfortunately, we lose more muscle and our metabolism slows, and then menopause and everything else hits and slows everything down. So
I'm always surprised at how much you walk and the calorie count, like I always expect it to be in the hundreds of thousands. And it's like 2. But there's different activities will give you so many different calorie counts too, calorie burn. But my favorite sport is racquetball, and I haven't played for so long.
I'm so bad at racquetball. So when I went into college, we had to be able to learn how to coach like everything. And the one thing that I did really bad was my racket sports class. We had to learn how to play tennis, badminton, and racquetball one summer. And the teacher is like, do you ever plan on coaching this? Because this is bad. I was like, no, my hand-eye coordination is horrible.
Well, I love tennis also. Tennis is so much fun, but in racquetball, the ball comes back to you. You're just like in this little enclosed space. And so in tennis, I usually hit it over the fence.
So fast in racquetball, and you have to like really kind of like gauge where it's going to go. And the more you play, like, I guess you get better, but I don't know.
Yeah. I love that sport. But that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. I have compartment syndrome in both my legs, like bilateral exertional compartment syndrome. And that is so frustrating. And it's a lot like plantar fasciitis. So have you heard about that? And have you heard of any really good treatments besides Botox injections?
I have not heard of anything else for it, or I've not done a lot of research in it either. So yeah, I have not. I'm sure that your doctor probably knows the best thing for it.
I don't think it's very
well studied.
A lot. Yeah, they just go in and cut the fascia, and then they leave a scar tissue, and so kind of
never able to surgery on your legs.
No. I don't want to do surgery, so I'm trying to do whatever else I can to avoid surgery. And actually, I think the cold showering has helped that because it's kind of reducing the inflammation. And so
I would think so too. Yeah. I mean, yes.
Yes. So I was calculating, and I'm not good at calculating, but from my estimation, if you keep on walking the amount of steps that you've been walking every week, you'll be walking over 6 million steps in a year.
Wow. Well, maybe I got to keep going. I don't know. The only thing is I was like, well, I got to get back into like more weightlifting this week. And I was going to get back on my Peloton and my Stairmaster because I mostly have just been walking. But it also has been fairly easy. Like I said, I just been watching TV. I know that's horrible. The thing about it is like, I mean, most of us watch something on TV. You know, there's some kind of show we're watching. So I try to tell myself, if you're going to watch this, you have to be doing something. Because if not, you just lay on the couch. I don't know. I think it's really easy here too in the winter, anywhere where it's cold and you're just like laying on your couch. You're like, I don't really want to. So, but I am trying to like, I was talking to my husband. He's like, so what are you going to do after January now that you did this? So I was like, well, I think I need a new challenge for myself every month. You know, maybe something new. That's why I was like, well, like 1 month I could work on yoga and maybe 1 month really work on maybe, I don't know, just getting more muscle. So, but I'm not going to let my steps go because I'm going to try to do, I usually try to do at least 10,000 a day. And I think it's good because then you're like, it's a good reminder of like how much we sit. And I think especially during the pandemic, maybe I've been doing more computer work and sitting more. So I look at my watch, I'm like, okay, you can get up and walk or, you know, take the dogs out.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like during the day when I'm at work, I'll look up and 2 hours have gone by and I haven't gotten up and moved around at all, you know, and that's terrible. That's just terrible. And well, over the last 4 weeks, you've walked well over 400,000 steps.
I haven't added them up. My husband asked me how many miles I did, and one day I had him add it up, but I didn't add in the last, I think, 4 or 5 days, so I don't know exactly how many miles or steps it was.
I don't know, but it's about 2,400 steps for a mile is the average.
I think I was walking about 7.5 miles a day according to my things, but I don't know.
That's really great.
Well, thanks.
So 4 is what's recommended, and so you're about 7. That's cool.
7.5 miles. Some days I did like 10 or 11, like on a Saturday because I had more time. And also it is time. Like, you know, it takes you, especially because I'm walking, it takes some time. And especially on a Saturday, I sleep in like until like 11. I know it's horrible. I know they say you can't make up like sleep from during the week, but I feel like I feel better.
Yes.
Because during the week, I usually wake up about 5:20 or so because my daughter goes to school super early. And then I know I don't get enough sleep. So my husband's like, you need to have a challenge to get yourself more sleep 1 month. And a lot of times I stay up with him or if he works late and I'll wait for him or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, that's one thing that my feng shui master that was on last week taught me is to be in bed by 9 o'clock. Like that's really good for your circadian rhythm and for everything that's going on. If you can be in bed by 9, that's really helpful. You don't have to necessarily be asleep by 9,
but be laying down and trying to start relaxing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really good for you. And so let's see, John, what do you think about Dan? What is it? I can't read it all. What do you think
about standing desks?
I have one. And I love it. I love it when I remember to use it. One problem is I forget to raise it up sometimes. And then you're not supposed to be standing the whole time that you're at work. And so I put it back down and then I forget to raise it up the next day. And I have the stress fracture in my foot. And so I'm not always able to just stand on it. But I do love it. I do love it. And those treadmill desks, I think, are really cool too.
Oh, I think they're going to be coming more and more people, and they're getting cheaper. I've seen a lot of them you can put underneath your desk for, you know, like $250 or something. I mean, all of us could be doing. I know not everybody can walk all day because you might have something like yours, but I think that, or we'll have like a little like pedal under our desk or whatever. I don't know. I know America's got to start getting out and moving more, you know.
Yes, definitely.
That's for sure.
And it's just one of those things that we do just need to schedule into our day, you know, just
maybe not even about like all at once, but trying to take little breaks. I was even just telling my son the other day because he was telling me his back's hurting because he's in college and everything's online this quarter. So he can sit there in class for 3.5 hours, you know, and then at the end he's like, oh, my back. I was like, well, immediately, instead of going into your next class, if he's like has 30 minutes, maybe you should go on a quick walk or go get on the Stairmaster for a few minutes, whatever, stretch out. So to do it in little things rather than just like walk all at one time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's better for your overall health too, isn't it? Just to have those little like intermittent kind of activities.
Right. Just so we can get more, I mean, especially if that works with your lifestyle. I mean, working out in general is good, however you can do it.
Yes.
So,
yeah. if you're near Nordstrom's, you got to go and try the tonal at sometime if you ever get a
Oh, I
chance.
know. I've seen your thing. I actually think it looks really cool.
It's really amazing. I love it so much.
So have you been using it a lot?
I haven't been using it a lot. I've been like in really time crunched the last couple weeks, but I do get on there, and it's so nice because it's right here in my house, you know.
Yeah.
It's like having a treadmill or whatever just right here, and I can go jump on it and do a quick workout, and it's like having a personal trainer just like waiting there for you. You know?
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
really
That is
amazing.
good. That's good.
Yeah. And I love weightlifting, and it's one of my favorite things to do too.
Yeah.
The tonal, let's see, we've got Mr.
Tonal, I think that's what you said. He's like, what is a tonal? It's like it's a thing that you have. I think he
Yeah, tonal is it's like a home gym that attaches to the wall, and it works with
mirror, not mirror, but kind of. It's like a screen on your thing with the attachments, right? It tells you what
and it's got live workouts that you can do, or it's got trainers that will come on the screen and go through a workout, but it works with electricity and magnets, so it's really, really amazing.
That's cool.
Really good technology. So well, I was going to talk about one of the reasons that I sent you the shirt and the reflective bracelets. Did you try getting those out?
They're right here. I haven't tried them, but they're right here.
I was wondering if they
match my shirt.
Yeah, that's why I got you pink. Because it's so important.
That's awesome.
It's so important to
pink.
wear bright colors when you're out walking. So yes.
Yeah.
It looks like they match really well too.
I know, they do.
Cool. Yeah, so everybody, if you are going to go out and walk around your neighborhood or something, please be safe and wear bright colors and wear lights. If you're on a bicycle, make sure that your bicycle is well lit.
Yeah.
And that people can see you, not just one light going straight ahead of you, but that can see all around you and see where you are, because that's very, very important. And walk with the traffic.
Yeah, those are all important things. I think it actually cool little thing. I don't know how it works. I need to read it. I pulled the battery. It has like a battery left.
Yeah, I didn't know if they had like an on and off button or not, or if you just put them on your wrist, if they light up.
So as you pull it and then you, okay. I don't know if you can see that, but it's lit. It's lighting up.
How cool!
That is cool. Thank you. I'm gonna use it. Because it is dark, and me and my husband do sometimes, like right after dinner, we'll go for a walk, like both of us, you know, if he's been sitting in his job and I haven't done as much as I want to walking around, we'll try to go for a quick walk outside. Because I do think it's nice. I like getting fresh air, you know.
Yes.
So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's important to all of us too. I don't think we do enough of that either. Yeah, and getting those deep breaths, nice deep breaths, and then after working out, you always want to drink more water anyway. So I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
So our second place winner was Flour, Eggs, and Yeast.
Yes.
And I haven't calculated their steps either, but they got some pretty high numbers too. And
I thought maybe the runners are maybe Teresa's. I don't know. I don't know. Right.
Teresa's done I don't know if she's done full marathons. I think she said she did a full marathon, but she's done a lot of running also.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was gonna have to start running when she was like, I'm doing it. And I was like, well, I might either that or I'm just gonna have to really spend a lot of time walking. So that's okay. But I've done half marathon stuff. So I was like, that's why I was like, I can do this. I'll just walk. Even though I knew I'd have to walk, I knew it was just a matter of time. And it was a good goal because I also didn't want anybody to beat me. I'm not
Well, with my injury and stuff, it takes me about half an hour to walk a mile, and that's really, really slow. Yeah. That's like pathetically slow. But it does take a lot of time, and so but making the commitment, you know, to do it it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Just gotta.
Yeah. And you could try maybe. Do you have a bike? Maybe.
I do, and I do bike a lot too. Yeah.
That's my dog. I'm
Yeah,
too glad. Yes, he's right. He just had dinner and he's like, no, I don't think so. It's time for my second dinner. We just fed him right before it went on because I thought that. It's like 5 o'clock and he like hunts me down in the house. He's
yeah,
like, it's time to go eat dinner.
that's
So,
how our Howie is too. He's like,
yeah.
I want my food now.
Yeah.
Humans.
So where are you walking? Are you trying to walk around your neighborhood?
Yeah, I walk mainly around my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love getting up early and going walking in the mornings. I just love that so much, and all the birds chirping and stuff. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just being able to get out and do it.
Yeah. Well, it's also so it's not cold there. It's like a good temperature there right now, right? It's not hot, not cold.
It's between probably I think the coldest I've seen is probably 40s.
Okay.
It's between 40 and 60
Yeah. Well,
most of the time. So
yeah.
and in the morning it's around maybe like 36 to 40 degrees and it's kind of cool, but
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on spending a lot more time being outside and especially during the winter months, it is really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
And
I know around where the pictures you put up, I'm like, wow, it's gorgeous there.
yeah, and I want to go up to the mountain and into the snow a little bit and spend some time up there too. So yeah, we're lucky here, but got to get out and get moving, and that's one reason that I wanted to do the challenge. Yeah, get your heart going because that's very important.
It's important.
Yeah. So what would you like to see for another challenge? If I do another challenge, what would you want to see?
That's a great question. I'd love another challenge. I don't know what else. And it has to be able to be measurable, Like,
exactly.
like we all are getting more flexible or we all are getting, I don't know. Do you have ideas? Have you been thinking about it?
Well, that's one thing that I would like to challenge people to do is like try just turning the temperature down a little bit in your showers, but that's another thing that's not measurable,
Right. And then people will be like, it has to be something attainable, measurable. I don't know. That's why I do like setting a goal of like walking instead of like saying how many pounds I'm going to lose this month, because there's so many factors involved with that. And it can be it's hard on yourself. I know this month I was trying to lose weight, but I didn't want to put a number to it because I'm like, well, if you're counting your calories and you're walking this month, something's going to give, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to tell myself if I didn't, because then I feel like it's just such a letdown. That's why I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do like a pound thing. And everybody has a different amount. It'd have to be like percentage. It's just, I don't know. So I think it'd be disheartening. It's just like I think about when I think about exercise and like, okay, well, if you eat an ice cream cone, you got to go eat 3 miles. I just want to keep it like upbeat and positive and have a goal of like walking a certain distance rather than losing a certain amount of weight or like something that's measurable. And that's actually what I'm working with my physical therapist. He's like, well, let's think about what would your goal be like when you're done with me, like. And I was like, to get out of bed and not feel my foot hurting and get back out on the asphalt running as far as I want. And the next morning, not wake up and be like, oh my God, what did I do to this one foot? So, but I don't know. Those are great. I would love another challenge though. I'm trying to think. And, even if I thought about flexibility, everybody's going in with, different things or I guess a certain amount. I don't know how we could do it unless people have like Fitbits or like Apple Watch that shows like how much yoga they did, or I have no idea. Something that's different. I don't know.
We'll have to think about it. Maybe we can think about it this month and then start something for March.
Yeah. Or I was trying to think of like healthy eating, but I don't know how we could do it unless we took pictures of our plates.
Yeah. How about not Valentine's, the next one, St. Patrick's Day, we all learn how to river dance.
Everybody would have to send in an entry.
Yeah. Sounds a little dangerous, but I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. But I did really enjoy this challenge. It was a lot of fun. It was
good.
For me,
I'm glad that you did. Yeah, and I I'm just like amazed, watching every time that you'd send me the numbers. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Oh, thanks.
So
This last week I did have like one night of a headache. My husband's like, "What? If you take the night off, is somebody going to catch you one night? They'd have to walk like a freaking marathon tonight."
yes,
Oh,
exactly.
but I'm committed to the commitment.
Yes. Yeah, there was no way that any of us were gonna catch up with you.
And I really did think you guys. I thought Teresa was gonna be, but I know she's so busy. Oh my gosh, they're doing so much for Flowery Scene. She's like on TikTok. She has like a website. They have more than one channel, and she has a full-time job. I'm like, when do you sleep and work out? I don't know. Yeah, they're amazing. I was just watching, like, I was on TikTok last night and I saw, because they follow them, I saw their TikTok. I'm like, how does she have time for this? I have no idea. I barely have time to put out a few videos a month. And every month I'm like, I always have the ideas and I'm like, this is it. I'm going to tape them and things just happen. And I just don't. It just doesn't happen.
Me too.
But I'm like, well, this cannot, I guess YouTube for me also is kind of like my fun hobby. And I know some of my friends are trying to like make it as like a steady income, which is great. But I know my main focus has to be my family and my children, my kids and my husband and stuff. And time, maybe when they don't need me as much, I'll have more time focused on YouTube or getting back to teaching, hopefully. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. YouTube is so amazing, and it's nice that it has that flexibility that you can fit it into a lot of other things with a lot of other.
I'm amazed. Like, there are some channels I watched that only put out like one video a month, and they have like 1 million subscribers because that one video is like amazing. You're like, oh, they're here. Yeah. There's your video. Like, and my husband reminds me that just do what you can. It's just your hobby or whatever. So
yeah,
you can. So.
Yeah, but you share some really great recipes and stuff, and stuff that I've never thought of making. Yeah. That is one challenge that I would like to do on my Catalina Treats thing is trying to use new ingredients that I've never used before.
Mm-hmm. And
now that I'm Catalina Treats gluten-free kitchen instead of bakery, I have some more opportunity to do that,
Right.
But that's one thing I loved about watching like Chopped on the Food Network. Is they were using ingredients like durian and stuff, that never heard before.
Right.
But they'd all have to be healthy ingredients.
Yeah. It has been good for me. It's like to learn new things, especially for my husband, and especially even during the pandemic, because we haven't been eating out as much and some of our favorite restaurants closed. So I've been like, okay, well, I'm going to have to learn how to make that now. Like, and even out, like eating out has gotten so pricey here. A family of 4, like just to go get like sandwiches, like it could easily be $80-$100 or something. It's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah. So we've been trying to try new things at home, learning all new kind of different cuisines that I might have not done before. So that's been fun, and just learning new things. We're actually working on something for Valentine's Day. And me and my son were working on chocolate today. And I haven't really worked with like tempering chocolate. I mean, I've done like the little melts and stuff, but not tempering chocolate. I don't want to say what I'm making, but I make something different that I wanted to do. I had this idea, and I asked my husband, I was like, do you think I can make this? And he's like, I think you can. So he was trying to do me. Yeah. And we were trying to learn how to temper chocolate stuff.
Well, the keto bomb that I did on Catalina Treats today, that's the first time that I've really worked with chocolate like that too.
Yeah.
And it was a lot easier than I expected it to be, and really fun.
Yeah.
To do that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you are going to be in the Valentine's
collab. I'm not in the collab because I couldn't fit it into the whole theme, but I'm coming out with a Valentine's, something for Valentine's Day. So hopefully I'll finish it this week.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add to the video?
Not. I mean, it's thanks for hosting this, and I hope every woman out there, if they haven't had their cholesterol checked or their blood pressure checked or check their resting, heart rate recently, or if you ever feel like a friend that's like having weird symptoms, that you encourage them to get to the ER, because you never know if you'd save someone's life. Or if you think they're having a stroke, I mean, go. Like, what is the worst that can happen? You get to the ER and nothing is, but a lot of times it actually is something. We all need to encourage our friends to get out and also get out and like maybe get a walking buddy. Encourage our friends to do something like this. Let's have a challenge and see who can, walk the most or whatever. So
yeah.
We
have a suggestion here. Wait, there it is. A sleep challenge.
I don't think I can win. A lot of times, you're like 9 o'clock. I'm thinking, I'm trying. I'm lucky if I go to bed like 11, I get up at 5. So it's like 6 hours. That's like on a good night, or I don't know. And then, I feel like I have like an extra rush, like after I work out or in the evening or after dinner, and like I'm with my family. I'm like, oh, let's play a game. Let's watch TV. I need to calm down, go to sleep. In the morning, I'm like, why did we stay up?
Yeah. Yeah, I get like a burst of energy right when the sun goes down for some reason. I'm never sure what that is.
And I'm like, that wasn't, I don't know. In the morning, I'm like, oh, I need to sleep more. So I'm like, okay, I need my coffee. So
yes. Great job. You girls did great. I'm so amazed at watching your numbers. And one thing that it helped me with is it seeing that that's possible. Like to me, like 10,000 was a big insurmountable kind of number, but just watching what you were able to do is like, wow, that really is possible to do that every day and to get to over 100,000 steps in a week. So I thought that was really, really cool.
And I think you can and just remember also the 10% rule. You don't want to go up more than 10% at a time.
Yeah.
So if you're only walking a mile, then you really shouldn't go over to like 1.1 miles or something. Like, I think that's where a lot of people get hurt. They're like, well, today I'm going to go, they haven't worked out in forever. And then all of a sudden they're working like, I'm going to go do 4 miles in. And then the next day they're hurt. And like, yeah, no kidding. You want to just go up at like 10% at a time and just really think. And if you think of like over a year of how much you can improve, it's like amazing.
Yeah. I think that that's true for everything, just ease into it. No sudden moves.
Yeah. Just do a little bit at a time and everything can just add up. And even like when I was looking at my steps, I'm like, don't look at that. Just pay attention to the TV, relax. It's going to happen really fast. And it does happen really fast. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. I hope you have another challenge because I'm in.
Yeah. We'll start making plans.
Okay.
And the shirt looks adorable. You look so cute. And the color's
I really appreciate the shirt. And I'll take a picture and put it on Instagram with my new lights.
Yes. Well, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties, but we found a way to get through it. So thank you. Thank you for hanging in there.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.